The Wall Street Journal reporting today, Fannie Mae was warned 5 years ago, about document problems with foreclosures. The report said Florida attorneys, including David J. Stern, made false statements in court and foreclosures were made without the proper paperwork. Time to let the Willis watchdogs out. Ben Ferguson is a radio talk show host in Memphis. Al Lewis is a columnist for Dow Jones Newswires in Denver. And Kimberly Guilfoyle is a Fox News legal analyst. Al, let's start with you. Didn't they know before 5 years ago? I mean, how is it that Fannie doesn't know these problems?
You know what's funny is not only did they know these problems, but at this point in history they decided, hey, let's buy some more of these subprime loans. Let's load up on this stuff. Let's guarantee all of these bad loans that these banks are making. And you know, the real travesty here is that this is a paperwork problem. They had paperwork problems making the loans. They're having paperwork problems foreclosing the loans. And you know what? This is just going to add to the shadow inventory of homes as they delay the foreclosure process.
No recovery in sight for housing, Kimberly.
Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, it's criminal is how I look at it, to be perfectly honest. Do I think ultimately that they're going to be, you know, have some repercussions, legal repercussions from this? No, because they seem to get away with everything. They knew back clearly in a report in 2006. They were warned about this, that there were problems with the lending practices and what particular their investors and the homeowners were getting loans that they shouldn't be receiving. And now we see it's a big mess. It contributed in large part to the collapse here of our U.S. economy, and nothing's going to happen.
Ben, what do you say?
Yeah, well, you're the holy grail of the Obama administration, Fannie and Freddie. You're the holy grail of the Clinton administration, and John Kerry and all the other ones. So they knew that they didn't have to play by the rules because they had the blessing of the United States government. You can do whatever you want to do, and guess what? With all these problems, with all these bad loans, with all this paperwork, and with all these things they're doing in court, guess what? They still got money this year, and they got money last year from the United States government while they're still not making money.
More of our taxpayer dollars. I'm telling you,
they're getting rewarded.
Ridiculous.
For bad behavior.
All right.
Getting rewarded.
We're all angry about this one. We'll give you another one. More federal government messes. The U.S. Postal Service cutting its workforce by 7,500 positions. They're going to close 7 district offices. The reorganization is addressing major losses from lower mail volume and record high pension obligations. Ben, is it too little too late? Is it the right thing to do?
Same with yours.
Ben, I don't think Ben can hear me. Kimberly, what do you make of this story?
Yeah, I mean, this is just more of the same to me. Postal workers, I'm going to tell you a story, though. When I was a lawyer, people will say, you know, prosecutors kick the postal workers off. This, to me, is bad news for jury selection because now they're going to have nothing but time to go on juries and go totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're the worst jurors. They're the holdout. I hate to say it. I mean, I love getting my mail, although now I'm going to have to do everything online. Because now
yeah,
not
you're
done.
I mean, you're never getting another letter.
Yeah,
as long
I feel
as
bad, but I mean, this is the sign of the times of the future, you know, no more
Ben,
jobs for them.
what's your view on this? I mean, should the U.S. Postal Service be dialed back? Should it be smaller?
Absolutely it should be. I mean, think about it. This is one of the biggest things in the world that I've never understood. They've got a monopoly on my mailbox, and no one else can put anything in. If they do, you can be charged criminally, and they still can't make money doing it. I mean, literally, they cannot figure out how to make a living off this or even break even. Why? Because it's government, it's bloated, it's overextended. They got too many employees and not enough technology. So for all, please, I beg them, buy out everybody they can and make it smaller.
Make it smaller, Al?
Just one word here, Jerry, email. You know, who needs the mail anymore except for junk mail, and nobody really wants that.
So many different ways. FedEx, you know, you name it. All right, let's get to the Madonna story because I know you guys want to talk about that. A charity backed by Madonna has scrapped its plan to build a school for impoverished girls in Malawi. The New York Times says it's a result of mismanagement of a board that's now been replaced to include the pop superstar herself. Nearly $4 million has been spent so far, and guess what? There is nada to show for it. Kimberly?
I mean, really? Let's talk about bad judgment. Your former trainer's boyfriend, like, who gave him the job? Like, that was a disaster immediately waiting to happen, right? I mean, too many ab crunches working out together, like, oh, spending the money, no return on the investment. Maybe they were waiting for a government bailout.
You know, if they're losing Madonna's money, I really don't care. But who I feel sorry for are the little girls.
That's the problem.
That's
the girls
what I worry
are going to lose out on it, and that's a shame. And they should have been more responsible in selecting who was going to be running it and making sure that it was properly financially managed. Shame on them.
Al, what do you say?
You know, the funniest part of this story is that Madonna is a mystic. Did you know this? This was all done through the Kabbalah Center in L.A. You know, the Kabbalah, if you know anything about it, it is a study of the Torah, the Mishnah, the Gemara, the Zohar, all these impenetrable religious texts. And Madonna somehow has time
The Kama
for this.
Sutra.
And you know, if they're really mystics, how come they
and on
couldn't
it
see
goes.
this coming?
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Guys, thanks for your help today. Kimberly Benenal, great job. We're going to be right back
Thank
with
you.
My 2 Cents more.